Marty Schwartz here, nextlevelguitar.com, and I'm thinking of other things to show you guys, and this is something that is in, it's a chord progression that happens in a lot of jazz standards, but you can find, you can find it in soul, R&B music, and fusion stuff. And basically what we call it is a minor 2-5-1. Now you don't really have to, to get something from this, you don't really have to understand the theory of that. I always think, you shouldn't be scared of what's called theory, because really it's just the, why something sounds good or how to apply something. So the more of that stuff you can get, it's great. But it's always nice to be able to make music right away. And I think, that's what we're going to do right now, is we're going to just make some music. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this first chord, and here's what it sounds like. What is that? It's called a D minor 7 flat 5. It's also got the name D half diminished. It means the same thing. Now, if you're looking at what's called the real book or a jazz book, where it's someone's shorthand writing on this chord, it would be a D and a circle and then a line through the circle. Put my first finger on the root, just like that, and then what I'm going to do is I can actually just, with these 3 fingers, think of it like, it's exactly like a D chord shape, right there. But then you play it right there, and then all we have to do now is add our pinky to the 6th fret of the B string with this little D looking shape. It sounds like this. Okay? It's a cool way to learn it, as opposed to a brand new shape. You can visualize that it's related, at least shape-wise, to another chord that you probably know really well. Okay, so the root's right there. It's a D minor 7 flat 5. I usually say D half diminished. It's easier. But either way, same thing. Okay, then we're going to go to a G7 chord. G, just a G bar chord, like if you took a G major bar chord and took your pinky off. It's a G7. Now, this particular chord in this 3-chord progression is the chord that you're going to hear in jazz music being altered a lot. So there's a lot of fancy things I can do to this G7. I can change notes around. That was a couple little fancy things I did to it, but basically we're just going to do G7, and then right next to it is a C minor 7. So now I took this little shape and I scooted it over a string, and now my root is the C on the A string, the 3rd fret right there. Okay, and here's what it sounds like. So that's a minor 2-5-1 in the key of C minor. So that's what that would be called. And what you see in jazz a lot is there's also major 2-5-1s, but minor 2-5-1s in different spots, like it's a good way to change your keys around. And that's what jazz is. It's kind of changing its tonal center or its key quite often, all right? But what you're going to see in a lot of jazz tunes is this little movement right here. Sometimes it's fast. Sometimes it's for a while. Since I called it a minor 2-5-1 in C minor, you can play the C minor pentatonic scale over that whole thing. And let's see if I still have it here. Something though that you can experiment with if that's pretty easy for you at this point, you can actually play what's called the C harmonic minor scale over that. But really specifically over when you get to that G7 chord is really where it's gonna shine. And it looks like this. I might as well just play it. He sounds like a gypsy. But, you know, I'm going to apply it now. And, you know, the cool thing with, like, the modal stuff and the fancier scales is you can, you know, just think of it, you know, I like to, when I teach it especially, just think, you know, plug in that pentatonic and then start, you know, use that as the skeleton and then start to visualize where those half steps are and where those little shifts are. It's really the easiest way to do it because most people learn that pentatonic and play it for a while before they start to learn the fancier scales. So the thing about the harmonic minor scale is if you've been learning those modes, or if you know, it's the minor scale basically. It's also called Aeolian. Aeolian and the natural minor scale are the same thing. Just like the D half diminished and the D minor 7 flat 5 are the same thing too. Brain aneurysm. So what you can do is you can take the natural minor scale and the 7th tone of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is just up a half step. If you apply it the right way, then it does sound real jazzy. So I'm going to play a loop of that minor 2-5-1 in C minor, and I'll do some bluesy C minor pentatonic stuff, but then I'm also going to apply elements of that C harmonic minor scale. And that's what this is that I am about to do. Always seeking out new sounds. So even if you're like totally into blues, you know, try that stuff out and you'll be surprised. Try it out a little bit and you'll start to hear it in music. You'll start to, you know, I think that's, what was that? Okay, so once again, Marty here, nextlevelguitar.com, you know, lounging away, all your lounge music needs, bossa nova and Cuban.
Pan flute?
Well, pan flute is just too hard. I gave it up. Sorry.
Understandable.
Yeah. So anyway, click the link, be our friends, and there's so much more to learn and to grow with us. All right, we'll see you next time. All right.